Alright, welcome back to game number 2, folks. First qualifier match of the day is, in fact, a best of 3. I'm Rifkin, joined by Penguin, and spawning here down in the lower left corner of the map, down 1 in this series. It is the blue Terran from, and I'm gonna try this, Nuit Blanche? It is.
That was pretty good. That was pretty
Funkay.
good. And his opponent in the top right spawn location, he's got to be pretty happy with these spawn locations as soon as he realizes what's up. Playing for My Insanity as the Pink Zerg, it's going to be none other than Kane.
Yeah, cross spawns are kind of funny on this map. I mean, a lot of people really don't appreciate map positions, like spawn locations, and a lot of the times it gets brushed off as whatever, but really on Frost, cross is so good for TVZ, at least for Zerg. I think Terran, if they handle the map correctly, could really spawn anywhere and be happy, but for a Zerg player especially, top right to bottom left, this is about as good as it gets for Kane. And coming to game 2 with the 1-0 lead, this has got to put him in a great mindset once he scouts his opponent.
Yeah, usually when a Terran is loading up onto Frost against a Zerg, they want to be horizontal. Vertical's not that. It's kind of in the middle. It's the midway point. But horizontal is what the Terran wants. They can power push the Zerg very, very easily through the middle. And it's also pretty nice to just be able to drop the main. And usually the third base will be taken not at the sort of pocket third. It'll just be taken further down where the fourth base would be since we're cross spawns.
That's yeah, I guess actually a quick explanation, guys, because Penguin and I are just kind of being like, talking about it casually. The reason the spawn locations matter because of these bases, because of the way you expand. I mean, let's talk about this base by Kane. Can you imagine if Funkay was top left, you got this giant cliff to shoot down from? I mean, nobody wants to have to deal with that at all at any point.
Yeah. So, basically, horizontal is what the Terran always wants. Cross is always what the Zerg is hoping for. And then they're both kind of okay with verticals. So going into this, the luck so far on Kane's side, Funkay, he's going to be able to scout the bottom right now, and well, he's going to know very, very soon that his hopes and dreams are shattered. At least as far as spawn locations go.
Well, I don't know if his hopes and dreams would necessarily be shattered, but it's definitely not the optimal way. Now, I do want to put it, he did go CC first again, and he did do it on the high ground. So definitely a little bit scared of Kane. Typically on a 4-player map and anywhere spawn location, you'll see CC first for sure, but usually on the low ground because you don't expect your opponent to exactly 6-pool you on a map like this. So curious on his choice to actually build this on the high ground. Not that it's a big deal, but it's a mentality question.
I like it because on Frost and Whirlwind, it's not all that common, but I mean, I personally like to do it, and I know at least a couple of the Zergs who like to do it, is just go 12-12 Ling Bane all in, and if you CC on the low ground, you're just literally, there is no try, you are dead.
Well, thank you for that, Yoda, the inspiring words. There is no try, only do, only die.
No, that's not the quote. It's,
no,
try
but
not. Do or do not. There is no try.
I'm trying to adapt it to the whole you either do it or you die or you don't type thing. But Funkay not following this up with the barracks this time is worth noting. Did go with the factory, a much more sound opening in this regard. Hellions give you a lot greater control when it comes to dancing with the Zerglings. If you follow up with a Banshee, you can actually take on Queens quite easily. I mean, a Banshee already takes on a Queen, no problem. But we've all seen Hellions struggle at some point versus them.
I just like to point out that Funkay is... As soon as I say that, I was about to say that he's playing a lot more standard, getting the factory up, and now he's going straight into a tech lab on his barracks. So he's not playing standard.
I think
this could be for early stim. He could go for a stim Hellion timing.
I don't know if it even be for timing. I mean, he did look really aggressive in game 1, but I think the stim is just so that he has it. I mean, it's hard to say because I can't predict Funkay going for an aggressive push again. Not after the way the last one failed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a lot. This one is a lot less. It's a lot. I don't want to say all in, but it's because the last one wasn't all in. But it's a lot easier to sort of get a good trade out of it. The other one is a lot easier to just get surprised by Banelings and die. Well, he is going to be adding on 2 more Raxes immediately. I would not be surprised, given the positions, to see at least one of them grab a tech lab. And the Marauders.
Oh, get the extra barracks coming down here. Funkay has delayed his starport. Not the biggest deal, but this definitely going to make it a little bit hard to push with that stim. Of course, stim is nice, but takes away your health, and the biggest way to make up that difference is with those medevacs. Last thing you want to do is have half-dead Marines charging into the battle before the fight even begins.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he does decide to go for maybe a medevac or two with the push. I'm just waiting on the add-ons that come down. He's going to be getting a double NG bay behind this. This is pretty late, though, and it's 2 reactors coming down for Funkay, so he's going to be going into Marine production out of those 2 Raxes, but these 2 engineering bays are very, very late, and Kane already getting a sizable lead in the upgrades. His upgrades are already 50 seconds through, and the NG bays aren't even quite done yet. He's going to be about a minute ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it is expected the Zerg player will get to 2-2 a little bit faster than the Terran player, but 1-1 is usually completed so much similar timing. So it's a little unfortunate in that regard. But again, if Funkay is going to play this heavily defensive for now, which I mean it looks to be with that starport being so late. I mean, still no sign. Oh, there we go. The reactor now on the way. My bad. But the point is, like, I don't see him pushing anytime soon. So the upgrades might not come into effect until the actual battles begin. Because of course, Kane, I don't see him going to a fast hive. Not on this map at least.
Yeah, well, the Overlord's going to see pretty much just about everything, and it is going to die, but Kane has some pretty good intel here. He's also getting some really sick creep spread going. 9 minutes in, and he's already got the creep way out there. He's got 2 extra queens this time around instead of just the 1.
This is the problem with Funkay staying home, playing defensive. He doesn't have that aggression on the map to start shutting this down. He doesn't have the ability to run around with his Hellions and pick off these creep tumors. And as Penguin just said, guys, look at... I'm going to super zoom out so you can just fully grasp, not off the minimap. Look at all of this creep spread. Spread out like crazy. Definitely going with the Canadian method of creep spread with a giant fan.
Oh, yeah. I like that method. It's pretty good. Anyway... Spire is about a third of the way done. Baneling speed coming on in, more and more drones. And a third base is now established for Funkay. And it looks like he just wants to fortify this position here. I assume, like, the next possible time for him to push that makes sense is with 1-1, because he doesn't want to be behind on upgrades when he pushes. So pushing right after his own upgrade finishes is a good way to ensure that he probably won't be behind on upgrades. Meanwhile, though, Kane looking to get a little bit active on the map, moving on forward with these links. His creep spread is insane, Rifkin. Funkay really needs to get active to deal with this.
And the problem is he's going to have to burn so many scans just to start cleaning this up as well. I mean, that's a huge hit to the economy. But, alright, Queen's going to now be chased off front lines for the first time in 11 minutes. Almost accidentally kills a creep tumor. That would have been nice.
Yeah, well, there we go. First scan going on down. He will be able to kill off some of them now. And this is exactly what I was talking about. 1-1's about done.
Combat shield's finishing in just a sec, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
so a nice little timing here.
It'll be the opportune moment to fight, but Kane he doesn't have a lot of banelings. Something I've noticed, he doesn't tend to like overdo it with the banelings early on, so taking an engagement into this bio is actually completely out of the question for him at the moment. Mutalisks are on the way, of course, but even then, this is so many Marines, and the Hellions will soak what few banelings there are currently in the composition of Kane.
Yeah, but the Hellions don't want to soak the Banelings. Basically, usually you would want Marauders to soak them, but there aren't any. There's one Marauder, so...
Well, that and the fact that there's so many Mutalisks. Like, what's his alternative? Throw Marines on the front lines? Like, yeah. That's not gonna work.
I don't see... With this much creep, I don't see this working. Like, Funkay is losing a lot of time already,
dancing
and
around,
2-2 is getting closer and closer to finishing for Kane, and if that finishes, then there's even less of a chance of this doing much. Funkay's doing a good job cleaning up the creep for now, but the bottom part of the creep is still continuing to spread. It's beyond
If he can take a fight on this ramp, that'd probably be his best case scenario here. Gonna shoot at the drones from the high ground. Banelings now morphing for Kane coming to round number 2. The Banelings do not get the best connects off, and that Widowmine unburrows. Great control of Funkay, maintaining the reload on both of these for this second round of Ling/Banelings. Mutalisks have stayed away from the fight for now, and I love that he's kind of dedicating a small amount here. Oh, but those Banelings... Oh, the Widowmine should have stayed burrowed. Good hit, though, nonetheless.
That was a good little push there. He killed 7 workers, and he got out with the majority of his stuff.
And
forced
the resources
a lot
lost.
of Banelings.
Resources lost, looking pretty good in his favor, too. But, again, that's more Zerglings than anything else.
The problem is that he didn't really put on any early pressure, so... Kane losing a little bit more than Funkay. Kane doesn't really care right now. He's already got a booming economy.
Yeah, if he was on 3 bases instead of 4, that could have actually hurt a little bit, but... 4 bases, massive map control. I mean, everything is just turning up spades right now for Kane. And coming here to clean up even more creep, but as I said, you're going to have to burn so many scans to clean up this much creep already.
Yeah, and I mean, he must have already burned 3 or 4 scans at this point, and well, we actually have a big little Ling attack poison ready to go for the 3rd.
the biggest little attack you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, Bunker's actually got
Sorry,
nothing
I'm
in it.
tired.
Well, the Bunker's got nothing in it to draw the fire. The Banelings typically got one Marine in there to draw the attention away, but these SCVs are going to go down. So will... Oh, this missile turret doesn't stand a chance. And instantly, 19, 21, 24 workers are going to be killed there. Now pushing through the middle of the map, again with the patrol micro. Wants to make sure no Banelings auto-win this for him, but... Funkay's got to be careful. There's not a lot of Banelings, but there's still a lot of Mutalisks. These medevacs are desperately out of position.
Well, an okay little first engagement here for Kane. He still has
Kane's
a lot
maxed.
of Banelings, more and more morphing in. He's got a lot of Lings popping on out now, though.
Kane
And he's
is
up by
maxed, though,
about
Penguin.
60 supply. And this is looking very, very difficult. But the Marines are very well split here, and Funkay is continuing to push forward. It doesn't
That's not
look all that
enough.
promising,
It's
but
not enough.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Yeah, Funkay just getting a little overwhelmed there. Now, fortunately for him, if he had, or unfortunately for him, if he had held this third base, right? Like if he had taken no losses at this third, he would still be in a really good spot after taking that big loss, that big hit. Because of course, Baneling straight out, they don't get reused. Resources lost pretty even at the moment. Yeah, but again, this all comes down to if Funkay had kept that base alive somehow. If he had scouting information, if he had something in the bunker, anything else other than losing that massacre of SCVs. Because now he's got like a very, very low army supply. The economy's not where it needs to be. And while he is dropping mules, the SCV count is so low, it's almost half that of Kane's.
Yeah, and Kane's going to go for the Baneling attack again. 5 Banelings going to roll on into this base. It's not really all that much there, but I guess it'll get some mule kills and maybe a couple of SCVs. At this point, he doesn't
I think it's
need to trade
everything.
sufficiently.
He actually clears out that base fully and entirely.
Yeah, that's... I don't know, man. Now, here we go. The Lings coming on in. They want to finish this base off. Force a lift. Will they be able to do so? Some of them are just sort of chilling.
this other base.
There we go. Focus fire coming down. Oh, that may actually burn down.
It's gonna absolutely fall.
GG.
Good game. Both command centers go down. And Kane will take the first series of today, 2-0. Alright.